Hello everyone and welcome back to Bricks and Dragons. Today we are looking at something that I've had sitting here stored for quite a while, and I just dusted her off a little bit so we can kind of have a look at it. This is the bridge of the USS Enterprise D. Um, you know, one of the fun things about having action figures and all that is, being able to collect them and show them and all that. One of the frustrating things is really kind of having vehicles and other things so that way we can kind of properly display them. If you're going to use these figures for like role-playing games or something else, you might want to have some vehicle or whatever as well to have them along with, even if it's just a prop or whatever else. So here today, because I was kind of looking up different forums and that, and this kind of slides down. In our 1/12 scale, we have figures that range anywhere from 5 inches to 6 inches. So that really falls into all of our G.I. Joe, our Star Wars, Black Series, the Marvel figures, all those that Hasbro's doing currently. But if you're seeing the 5-inch figure, well, then we start looking at, of course, what Star Trek has been doing. And I think Mattel is behind Star Trek. I could be wrong. I know it's been Playmates, but I don't know exactly who the parent company for Playmates is. So I don't know if they're on their own or if that's a division of Mattel. But I know that Mattel has been doing... They did the 5-inch scale for the Buzz Lightyear, all that. So the question really comes down to, in my mind, I was kind of curious about this. Can you take a 6-inch action figure and put it into a set like this, or a vehicle or whatever? Now, I don't have any of the vehicles yet. I'm thinking of maybe taking a chance on one here shortly, but grabbing like a 5-inch scale vehicle and seeing if I can't get them in there. Now, I did see a couple forums online. They said, yeah, it's possible. So, I have this. I have a shuttle for Star Trek, which is on the same character scale, but I don't know where I put it. And I've looked for it before. I just really have no clue where I stuffed the little bugger. I'm sure it's in a box somewhere, but I have no idea what box I put it in, and I'm sure it made all the sense in the world when I did it. So here we are. So we're going to look at this, and we'll see exactly how it looks. Realizing when we look at a bridge like this bridge set, the set itself, the actual set, I believe, was a fairly good size set. I mean, you think about all the room they had in between seats and everything else, and this is all a compact version of it. So whether you want to say it's the Enterprise or some other ship, that's all fine. But just trying to say, hey, can you use this for your figures? Now, we have Mutt, and we have him in the captain's chair. He looks like he's a little scrunched in there. We have our action soldier sitting here in our con station. They don't look too bad. Some of the things I heard was like if you had the Figma figures. So here I do have a couple. So here is a young lady as a Figma figure, and I can have her sit in there. And I think she looks a lot more at home in here than, say, Mutt. And of course, if I was to take my B-1 battle droid and I knock his rifle off, of course, I could take his backpack off here maybe. Or maybe not. I guess I'm leaving it on. And if I put him in the seat, he sits a little bit... He's actually the same height, but just the way his arms are, trying to get his legs look a little bit more natural there. The way how small his arms are and all that, I think he looks a little bit better, but still, it's a little cramped in here. Can it be done? I think so. If you're going to grab a Dark Trooper, I think he seems a little big, but there again, he is the same size. So if I have the Dark Trooper kind of standing behind him, he is an oppressing form. In a set like this, and I don't take it out all that often, we'll kind of go over the set too. It is possible to have figures in here. I don't think it's going to be overly bad. It might look a little goofy in a way, but you know what? To do this for a set, I think we could get by. And who knows, maybe I might start doing this for my own stuff or whatever. I don't know. I've got a lot of Lego stuff. I've been trying to keep it either as role-playing maps or whatever else, but this would give me an opportunity to show this off a little bit and go from there. But, it's hard to say, right? So a Figma figure, I think, would sit a little bit better, but let's do apples to apples here. So I'll take our young lady and have her stand up, and I should have a tape measure here is what I think I should do, and I know I have some handy, so let me grab a tape measure here because it's just out of screen. Whoops. And as always, all right, and I unwound my tape measure here. Okay, so if I lay her down, and we see she is actually 5 inches. So she fits very well in here. Now this is a younger lady, being a schoolgirl or whatever. I think she would sit a little bit better. Typically, with our female figures, you'll notice that they are a little bit shorter than some of the male figures. But then, so to have her come up to the door, she's still a little tall. And because I don't know where all my, I do have some Star Trek action figures for this stuff, but I don't know where they are either. So, let's just be honest here. She is the same size of what our Star Trek action figures would be. So this door frame is a little on the short side even for her. But then when we take Mutt, let's get him so he can stand up a little bit here. That scowling face because he's upset because he's hitting his head up against here. So yeah, I mean, you can definitely see he stands quite a bit taller than she is. I'll tell you what, let's kind of shrink this down here. You can see it a little bit more on the same view as I am. There. How's that? All right. So, when we look over here at Mutt, I mean, we got his head sitting up here. So, and he's the same height. He's a little bit shorter than our Dark Trooper here. And see how, just having different size figures. Now, our Dark Trooper stands a little bit taller than Mutt. Our battle android here, I think he should be about on the same size, but the Dark Troopers were supposed to be taller. They were supposed to be tall and menacing and all that. So the B1 battle droid is the same height, so that's not a big deal. Oh, sure. First he doesn't want to go one way, then he goes the other. So we have these issues. So I'm going to say it is very possible that we could do this. It's just, is it something you're going to want to do or not? I don't know. It's up to you. Everyone's going to have their own opinions. They do have a Buzz Lightyear truck. If you wanted to try it, it's like $12. So, the worst part is as I fall into the category of, as a lot of people I think are, we're adults. We want to capture a little bit of that childhood glee and all that after, having a rough day at work. And it would be nice to be able to sit here and say, hey, I can set some figures in here and I can kind of go back to our yesteryears and, wish I was a child again, not having all the cares of the world, especially with a crazy world that we're in. That's perfectly fine. But unfortunately, the toy companies and all that know that it's more adults that are buying this stuff, so they're really kind of taking advantage of that, and they're making making the toys that, yeah, they're really neat, and I do like them. You know, these figures call back to, you know, the days of old. As I get my Dark Trooper in front of the camera here, right? Ooh, I don't think he really wants to sit that well. All right. I've never really tried to have him sit. Let's take his gun away from him. He looks sitting there with his battle rifle. Okay, so we have our first officer, and then we'll say that she's our counselor. All right. Okay, so here we are, and we'll just do a spin around as I keep kind of yabbering away here. All right, let's kind of raise this up a little bit. All right, so let's spin this a little bit. So I bought this used many years ago. So I didn't have all the connecting pieces. I did have a couple, and you can see in the back I have one tape. So this tries to stay kind of connected here a little bit more than it is. Some of these pieces were meant to fold down, so like the very sides, we could fold these down. We have a nice view of a Romulan warbird. Okay, I want to say a Detrax, whatever. I was never very good at saying that. These doors don't open, so going into the waiting room or captain's office, and then I think that was like a briefing room over here. And then we kind of spin around here. So as you can see, we do have all the controls. Now I don't have batteries in here, and I'm very hoping that I do not have corrosion where the battery should be. You know, we could take a peek at that maybe here in a minute or so. But there are buttons up here. So I've got 3 buttons on top. So we got 7 buttons in all. To make some different sounds and light things up. Underneath here is a switch to turn the lights on and off. So our view screen, I don't know how well you guys can see this. This is like, you know, we do have a light here because it's the old-fashioned light bulbs, because that's what we had back then, to light all this up. So we do have some of those things there. Maybe we can get some batteries in here in a minute so we can see what she does. Now, in the back, we do, and it's the same thing on the other side. So as we look at this here. All right. These are spring-loaded, so you can open the door and it automatically wants to shut. So it was always kind of a nice little feature. And now these open up, and let's see, do we get a chair? Nope. Kind of, but not quite. So we do have the panel that'll open up and come out, and we get like a bench on one side and just a single chair on the other. So kind of like how they did in the show, where there was seating there. Okay. And of course then we have the other door on the other side. Well, it looks like I have tape. Nope, just a piece of paper back there. Like I said, it's been sitting here up on the top shelf, kind of just getting dusty for years. All right, now let's see if we can't have fun here. And I'm hoping I can do this with my little pocket knife. That was always the nice thing about having these little pocket knives. They could be used as a small Phillips as well, because it's the way the head was kind of made on there. So like I said, I don't know if I even have batteries for this. I got some AA's handy, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this or not. We'll see what we can get to work. And I do want to say thank you for everybody that's made the channel for what it is so far. Without viewers like yourselves, watching me and the silliness that I go through and subscribing. We are at 103 subscribers. Now, that's, like I said, that's all because of everyone that's made this. No, sugars. This is for the light bulb. That has nothing to do with anything else. And here I thought that was the batteries. So now I gotta try and remember where the batteries are. I bet they're underneath. The whole thing you get is old collectors, and we have some of these old toys. There's things I've collected and sold and all that because I just kind of ran out of room, and I thought, yeah, well, and I kick myself in the foot and say, why did I do that? That was a silly idea and I should never have done that. But at the time, oh, come on. This screw just does not want to go in there. If it gives me too much more grief, I may have to just say forget it and go on. But nope, I think we got her now. Alright. Okay. One of those things. This is a small channel. I don't intend to be a well-polished channel. This is us sitting around a pool table just having a good, just friendly discussion on things. I'm not a big professional. I am just a goofy guy trying to have fun, welcoming you into my home and around my pool table so we can all just kind of sit here and, you know, I give you what I think about things, and I think I'm losing pieces. I like to give a good benefit of the doubt. Now underneath here, yep, here's our battery, and I don't even have to open that up or unscrew anything. All I have to do is figure out exactly how I'm opening this up without knocking the camera over. Oh, come on, you silly. Here we go. Oh, alright, so I do have batteries in there, but unfortunately, and I see some corrosion. I never should have done that. That's on me. So, 2. And then I got corrosion right here. Now maybe I can get that out of there. Oh, she's in there good. Oh, come on. Yeah, I don't think this is going to work anymore. I left it in there and she's corroded in there really good. Said maybe there's some carbon scoring. Maybe it's been in a lot of combat. Maybe it knows of the fight against the Empire. Oh, come on. It's like it wants to come out, but kind of doesn't. Look, it's in there and stuck. That's that corrosion on us. I think I'm bending my knife. Oh, come on. Now I do have a funny story for everybody here. Okay, now I'm getting her. So when I got this, and my daughters were little, my oldest daughter really, see if we can't scrape this up. When my oldest daughter was little, she had a hard time trying to get like Barbies into vehicles. And I had always kind of looked at it and said, well, I don't know why she's having a hard time, but, you know, trying to be a sympathetic father, I had said, you know, maybe if I got her some like G.I. Joe vehicles and stuff like that, because we just slopped them in there, maybe that would work for her. So I did. I got her, you know, I'd gotten this and I got some other sets that I wanted or whatever, and things kind of worked out. So I come home and she's playing with this. And she's got, I think she had Cobra Commander. She had Cobra Commander, and she was saying Cobra Commander's the wife, and then Duke was the father, and she had the Hulk in there, and the Hulk is the baby, and you know, I'm just kind of laughing my butt off, and she's having a good time, and there was no way I was ever going to try and tell her otherwise. I figured, you know what, it's her imagination, she's having a good time, just let her have a good time. And it was funny to listen to her and watch her play. It doesn't matter if she was right or wrong or anything in between. All that mattered to me is that she was there and having a good time. Now I'm trying to figure this out here. And there is a way, and I can see it here. Okay. There's that one. Go this way. I don't know if this is going to work or not. Well, let's give her a shot. Oh, we got sound. So this has not been fired up in quite a while. Let's see what we got. So, hey, we got a light up there. So, we got a light up here. We do have a red light down there. So, see what our buttons do. Okay. A lot of people hitting buttons apparently. That button doesn't seem to... Oh, there we are. So we hit the red alert. Alright, so bottom roll. Sounds like we were shooting phasers. There's our torpedoes. Actually, we had a red light over there, so that's them shooting at us. Boy, that could be loud and annoying. And then there we are. So that's all of our sounds. That's her in her glory. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. Hopefully it answers any questions you guys ever had. If you know, can we do a 6-inch action figure in a set that's really meant for a 5-inch? Yeah, we can do it. It's going to be a little cramped. It'll look a little silly, but I think it's a big possibility. I think what I might do is I might order the Buzz Lightyear truck for $12, and we'll see how we can get these figures in there and see how that looks. So the Figma does work a little bit better, but they are a little shorter. So keeping that in mind, you know, yes or no, either way, still it's one of those things of there is a possibility, and we'll just have to wait and see how it would look with them actually in a truck. I figured if for nothing else, looking in here, I'm gonna angle this down a little bit more. Alright, I figured if this is like the truck, what I might have to do is I might have to try and really bend the knees in a little bit more, and we had that extra joint, so I could kind of bend that knee a little bit more in, or in a little bit more there, I should say a little bit better, to try and get them to sit inside the truck. I mean, here I've got the extra space, so I can just have their feet kicked out a little bit more. If I really needed to, I can maybe bend the knees in a little bit more, and we can go from there. But beyond that, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. It's an interesting concept, and we'll have to see how things play out. With that, thank you so very much for joining me today. Hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you in the next video.